CS2, Pro Hysteria, and the myth of cheat-free Valorant. Let me see what Mr. Richard Lewis has got to say. This has got to be good.
I've said this on previous streams. Right now, if you want to manipulate the CS community into just going, like comment totally on your side, all you have to do.
All you got to do is make some new gambling boxes and just be like, hey, drops on. Get your free chance to get a free new gamble box. And yeah, that's it.
It's just CS2 is shit, and there's cheaters everywhere. That's it. That's the content. That's what everybody likes. It's what everybody wants. It's all you have to say. And a number of pros have been sort of doing this, and obviously some people are even spinning entire careers out of it.
Really?
And it's fine. I mean, the reality is, beyond a certain point in Premier, there are a really high concentration of cheaters. I still don't necessarily like anybody who played global matchmaking in CSGO knew there was a really high concentration of cheaters at various.
Well, Counter-Strike has been around like long enough to start driving. Like how many years old is Counter-Strike? I know it's above 15, right? Counter-Strike is old as shit. And it has been like one of the few FPS games that has withstood the test of time itself. And you know what else withstands the test of time? Cheaters and cheat creators. If a game is popping off and it gets enough like notice, it gets enough people playing it, then you damn well sure better believe that there's going to be some cheats for that game. I wouldn't even be surprised. I mean, for God's sakes, there was cheats for freaking what was that one fucking like BR game that was like the family friendly one? Fall Guys. There's fucking cheats for Fall Guys. All right? Of course there's cheats for Counter-Strike.
Times in the game's history. So I'm not getting into the whole like, well, it's just worse in CS2. I don't know. I don't know if it is. I mean, there's, I'm not going to say things I don't know.
I mean, I don't know because I'll pay attention a little bit to Counter-Strike. Like I love being like a casual and just like looking at all the different FPS genres because I do like FPSs, but I don't like the games themselves. I just like the aim training really. Like not so much the game sense and the gameplay aspects. I mean, they're fun like once in a while, but like for the most part, I'm like a casual enjoyer of like all the like shooter esports for the most part, and like I don't really enjoy climbing the ladder that much because most of the time, it always winds up as you have to fucking 3-stack in Apex. You probably have to 5-stack in Counter-Strike, in Valorant, or 4-stack in Call of Duty, or whatever. And it's like, you got to have like a dedicated group of people that all just no life the game. And there's always going to be people, like I have a job, so I can't like spend my time on my favorite game as much as I would like to. So because of that, it's like I can't like get into like all these like games that I don't know as much as I would want to anymore. But I mean, regardless, for every FPS, there's like a significant amount of cheaters in every FPS. It's just, with how developers deal with them, it usually happens in ban waves instead of like banning people every day because of the constant cat and mouse game that cheat creators and like the dev has the game that the cheat creators and the devs have to play, in that like cheats get made, ban wave after like a couple months, and then new cheats get made to bypass that one, another ban wave after a couple months. Like if devs ban people every day, then cheats are just gonna evolve way quicker than the cheat engine will, or the anti-cheat engine will. I mean, it's just the facts of like the FPS genre forever.
Just because it feels like that. because that's what morons do. And
It feels like that. I will say, because Counter-Strike and Valorant are very flick heavy, and it's just like one motion, like put reticle on head, it can feel like if someone like outshoots you or some shit, like, oh, he positioned his reticle better or he moved his mouse quicker or some shit like that. I would imagine it's very like easier for people to feel that they're getting cheated on. I mean, and I get that versus like a tracking heavy game or like a game that has like a longer time to kill, like Apex or something.
My gut feeling is that there's no reason it would be. Anyway, that's been my stance. But what I'm seeing all of the time now is people are really leaning into this idea that cheating in CS2 is out of control. It's out of control. It's in the pro scene. It's out.
I mean, isn't CS2 like a I don't know like what type. It's probably just like an updated version of the counter, like the old like CS:GO engine or whatever. I mean, with all the fall grenades, the smoke grenades that you can shoot through and shit. Like I do remember seeing some shit where like movement wasn't consistent and whatnot. So it's probably just like a super upgraded or updated version of like the source engine or whatever. So with that, how good is the anti-cheat going to be? I would imagine the anti-cheat is going to be like a little bit behind, like naturally, but to the degree that Richard's talking about, I don't know.
Out of control. It's everywhere. We had 30 people banned in the RMR qualifiers. 0.6 of all entrants in an open qualifier. And by the way, if you go back and look at previous qualifiers, what nobody did in previous CSGO qualifiers is whenever a team got eliminated for cheating, nobody tallied up the numbers. We just didn't talk about it. We just like, they're cheating. That's that. Because it's a fucking lazy narrative in CS2, everyone goes, it's 30 cheaters. It's massive. When was the last time this happened? Every other online qualifier ever in the history of
shit.
But it's just easy.
Oh yeah, whenever people if there's an option to play a tournament at your own house, on your own hardware, it's almost impossible to have like a legitimate tournament because there's always going to be that thing in the back of your mind of like, oh, that person could have been cheating. They're on their own fucking personal like machine and they could or could not have cheats on it. Or if it's not on their machine, it could be on the PC sitting right next to their game PC or some like shit like that.
Easy way to get attention, easy way to look like the good guy, easy way to fucking get all of the plebs going, yeah, you're the only one who's saying it, keeping it real. And it's like, no, everyone is saying that. If you want to keep it real, you have
everybody's saying it.
Fucking take on it. But no, nobody wants to do that. So, anyway, I just want to point out some absolutely...
I mean, if everybody... Oh, shit, I'm in the way. Let me get the fuck out of the way. I mean, if that's going to be the perception of a lot of content creators that play CS2, I mean, that's only going to put pressure on the devs to like update the shit out of their anti-cheat system and like get their ass in gear. I mean, so what's the bad thing about that?
Absurd and ridiculous, right? Somebody who had basically just picked up like a fucking shitty team to try and cheese some sticker money like they all did. They basically turned around and were like, oh, yeah, we're having to quit because of the cheaters and that. No. We're just closing down because it's not economically viable for us to run a team. So, here we go. This is Maxim Bednarski, who I believe is the CEO and founder of IKLA, which is a team with Ukrainian players, but also I believe Lekro was on it as well in these qualifiers. So he said, anyway, they got knocked out of the RMR qualifiers, and he said, we had a meeting and consultations with the board of investors. This shitty bedroom org is saying to the world they have a board of investors and they all get round and all nice brandy decanter. Anyway, where were we? What shall we do with IKLA? Like, fucking hell. Like, you don't have to self-aggrandize. You just don't have to do that. It's okay to have bedroom org, but whatever. We've decided to temporarily cease operations due to insecurity of investments. We cannot invest hundreds of thousands, millions if needed, of dollars in team when it's just luck decides if you play versus cheaters on online
Oh,
qualifiers
dang.
or not. Teams are not secured in any way. Now,
Yeah. I mean, outside of the normal ways of just like the in-game anti-cheat and or whatever.
online qualifiers all use anti-cheats, right? ESL, if it goes through Faceit, these RMRs the company PGL used had their own proprietary kernel level anti-cheat. Other companies use
Anti-cheats. Oh man. Like when it comes, it's like, bro, the first version of the anti-cheat, like version 1, is always going to be like the worst version. It doesn't matter like how up to date you are with like the cheating scene. It's like, oh, I got like 5 like burner accounts and I'm in every like little cheat Discord and they're figuring out this shit like 5 years ahead and all this shit. It's like whatever version 1 of the anti-cheat is, it's always the worst version. Like it may catch some people in the beginning, but the moment like the cheat creators figure out that, oh, this game's got a new anti-cheat, this tournament is using this anti-cheat, they'll figure out how to fucking get in there. I mean, I don't know how or whatever. I mean, I don't fucking do that shit, but like it's just I can only do like an appeal to history type deal where it's only a matter of time, really, before the cheaters always come out on top.
use their own as well for smaller tournaments. Most online qualifiers now are done through a company that has a kernel level anti-cheat of some type. So what are we impugning here? Are we actually impugning Valve? Are we impugning VAC? But what about the software that isn't stopping them cheating against?
Who's responsible?
Apparently it's just luck and teams are not secured in any way. I actually say pretty much online it's about as good as it can get, other than the fantasy of having a perfectly functioning anti-cheat that catches every cheater ever. But anyway.
I mean, and the fact that Counter-Strike, out of all the FPSs, like esports FPSs, probably Counter-Strike is probably always going to have like the newest, the latest, the greatest cheats to get around whatever anti-cheat system. Because, I mean, I honestly don't know why it's Counter-Strike is like the linchpin in all of this, because I've heard of not necessarily like an anti-cheat, but there was this thing I saw on YouTube like a while ago. It was called like a Waldo Vision, and it wasn't an anti-cheat, but essentially it was you plug in like a video clip like into like the doodad or into the, I don't know, video scanner, and based off of its own algorithm and shit, it was supposed to determine whether or not the clip used cheats or not. And I mean, I don't know how well that's doing. And then there was this other like anti-cheat I saw. What was it called? Like AnyBrain. It was supposed to be like it takes 2 hours for the anti-cheat to watch your gameplay, and you develop like a thumbprint. And based off of that, it'll compare your like movements and shit to like everybody else's. And based off of that, like 2 to like, I don't know, 4 hours of like game time or whatever, that'll be like your thumbprint, and it'll figure out whether or not you cheated. So, I mean, I don't know. That's about it. Like as much as I know from like anti-cheats. I know like a lot of anti-cheats are just like they're always like on the back step.
We will take pause until 2025 to reconsider possible return to CS as a team if we will see positive changes. Right? Spoiler, they'll try and cheese it for the Chinese major as well.
Oh, shit.
What does it mean for the players now? All our players will be benched and put on transfer list starting on the 1st of February 2024. Our last official will be the IEM Chengdu Open Qualifiers. If you are interested in our players, contact me on this Gmail account to make a bid for a player in a very professional sporting organisation. I want to thank everyone who has supported us during this time. And I also want to thank all staff members and players for their dedication and commitment during the process. Special thanks to haters. You always give more energy to move forward. We will come back stronger. Play wild. I'm going to doubt that last part of the statement about you coming back stronger. I don't think you are going to come back stronger because you've behaved like a bunch of pussies who lost the game, had a tantrum and imploded your team about it and said cheating's out of control and all these other provably false statements. Now, this was the match that upset them. This is going to become relevant later. It's a team called Pera, and they got 13 forward. And as you can see, Ikla, they have names you will know, like Mihu and Lekro and maybe, Kvem. And
I wonder if there has ever been like a time like in like real sports. So I mean, I don't know what tier of like tournament that was or whatever. Was it like a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 type of tournament with like in terms of like players? I wonder if there has ever been a time in sports where it was like there was like some Division 1 football or Division 2 football. I don't know which one is like more or less. And like they were doing like tryouts or some shit. And I would imagine like the quality of player that's like doing a like I don't know, maybe like a tryout or like a little combine thing. Like with the bench press. You bench press 225 for max reps, whatever. I wonder if there's ever been a time where it's like, damn, that guy got like 50 reps. That motherfucker is on fucking steroids. I feel cheated. I'm pretty sure that has been like a thing. It has to have been. Versus like a natty bro that comes in, practices like really hard every day, day after day. And he's like, okay, I'm repping the shit out of this 225. I got it for like 30 reps. Great. Meanwhile, here comes this other dude who's just bigger, stronger, faster. He's got like fucking 40 in the tank, and he doesn't just beat him, but he beats him by a lot. Or like his what is it, the 40-yard sprint? I forgot what it's actually called. Your 440 or some shit. They always say like 440 or whatever. Their 40-yard sprint is like, it wasn't just, they didn't just get beat by like a couple tenths of a second. They got beat by like I don't know, maybe like a whole half a second. It's like, damn, that guy's fast. But like not just fast, he's like way faster. That guy seems sus. I wonder if that instance has ever happened between like players, Like there's this one just outstanding player that just smashes everybody else by a mile. I'm pretty sure that has to have been a thing.
About Pera, not so much. Again, it's a best of one. It's Anubis. They get spanked, and people started posting clips, and people started saying, oh, that Pera team, they're 100% cheating. They're definitely cheating. They're 100% cheating. They're cheating. That's what they're doing. They're cheating. And you will notice, much like what happened in that European Pro League, which, again, we covered that story, didn't we? Well, they've just folded the team now, and it was literally, they banned him off the eyeball test on the say-so of the coach of the team they beat, which
eyeball
is
test?
Very unkosher. Pera also beat...
What the fuck is the eyeball test? You got somebody, like an official, like behind you, like watching your mouse and your screen, and that's the eyeball test? What the fuck is that? Isn't like the main issue for like a lot of like tack shooter bros, isn't it the main issue when they don't hit a target, they're micro correct? And that micro correct is just a very small fucking like movement of the reticle onto a head, and you're gonna expect someone to see. And most of the time, all these motherfuckers are playing on like 500 hertz, like 24-inch screen, and you're gonna expect someone like some experienced person, hopefully, to figure out if that little tiny micro correct was like a cheat or like a real, like a natural movement. I don't know, dude.
The former Bad News Eagles team in a best of 3. They're now called Guild Eagles because I believe Guild acquired them, which I don't know what they're doing with that name. Most coherent esports branding of all time there. And you can see here, they 2-0'd them.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very close series, 13-11, 25-23. Their players had decent games. Obviously, you know the Guild Eagles lineup. All the comments on the great minds of HLTV saying it was a radar game and that they were definitely hacking.
Oh
He's
shit.
100% radar hacking. Blah, blah, blah. And so Para won. Now, the story doesn't really go anywhere you think it would. This was just the ESL Pro League Season 19 NC European qualifier. This wasn't the RMR for the major, but they won. They finished first, and they've got this super high win rate all of a sudden, and everyone is losing their minds about this team. And so this is the team that supposedly fucking put them into the Hurt Locker. Let's get into analyzing it.
All right.
Afterwards, Juan Flattrue, he went public first. He fucking said his piece. And he said, unacceptable. So many teams doing it, 100% obvious. Does anyone even give a fuck about it? Wow, 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 wow. Now, I do want to remind everybody, because you're about to see people framing this as a CS2 problem. But what happened in that CIS RMR with Akuma, Richard? I seem to remember something about... You can't talk about the before times. The before times were perfect, guys. No one's ever radar hacked in a tournament. No one's ever match fixed. No one's ever cheated. CSGO was perfect in the before times. CS2 now...
No, apparently he's being facetious. And so apparently all of that has happened in the past, it seems like. Okay, great. That's nice to know. And I think it's very easy for, I don't know, just people in general, not just like in like a casual sense, but even like the tippy top, like 1% of player base. It's very easy to throw around like, oh, this player was better than me, or I got killed by this player. He's obviously cheating. I don't know. This is just like a true thing that I see a lot. And in terms of like, I'm going to do like a niche perspective that from the perspective of like an aim train bro. I think in, so for Counter-Strike, one of the only people that I've ever like paid attention to, and it was because of Maddie OW. The only person I've like paid attention to in CS was a Liege, and that was only because he hired Maddie OW, like the #1 US aimer, to like coach him on his aiming, not the game sense part, but like the aim train part. And I think he's like grandmaster in terms of like the voltaic benches or some shit. But he's like the only person I know that like has like went ahead of his way to like actively try to make his aim better. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's probably some other pros trying to do that shit. I mean, I'm just not plugged in as much. But like, when you start to crest over that, and you start to dip into that Grandmaster VT score bank, not only are you in the 1%, you are in the top like 1/10 of 1 percentile of like people that can get high scores. And it's like, oh, I know what you mean. It's like, just because you're like have the like decent, what do you call it, like decent aim train scores doesn't mean it's gonna translate into the game. I have yet to seen like any matches like with a Liege since he's got like did that little era of like aim train with Maddie. But it's like, when you get like such good ass scores and you start to like aim train every day, you develop like a lot of fucking consistency. And it if you were to show like some runs of like somebody like getting like good ass like aim train scores and shit, it could easily look like cheating. But I mean, like I said, this is from the perspective of like, so like I don't know if anybody else aim trains, so I'm just gonna guess they're I don't know, maybe this is wrong, like a stupid take, but I can't help to think, but probably a lot of these pro players, if I were to put like a VT rank on them, they'd probably be around master ish to like maybe a couple scores in grandmaster, or maybe like Jade level. but I think Alicia's the only one that I've seen like in public trying to like push it up to like grandmaster level. Um, so it just kind of seems to me like this is gonna sound super ignorant, but it sounds like all the like bad people are just complaining that everyone that gets beat by him is just cheaters. I mean, and I get it, but like whether or not it's true is like, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, it's the problem now. Never a problem before when it wasn't affecting them, but now it's a problem now. It's a problem now. And it's out of control now. Now, I'm not even saying whether or not these guys did it. Well, look, there's certainly evidence worth consideration. But the overreaction is mental, right? So, something I never thought I would see from a professional player. Again, a guy I like, guy I respect. Batshit opinion. Utter batshit opinion. We need VAR in our sport. People with knowledge and experience where they can watch evidences of probable cheaters and have power to ban them or cancel a match if necessary. Nowadays in internet, everything is possible. We want clean CS2, clean competition.
So that statement, like at the last couple sentences, we want clean this, we want clean that. Everybody wants that, to be honest. The only people that don't want that are the cheaters. Because how'd they get in the position in the first place? By using cheats. I mean, for the overall integrity of the game, it would probably be best to have a clean game. Now, the reality of it is like, how do you go about doing it? That's the hard part. And I don't even know what VAR is.
Yeah, VAR. That's fucking cleaned up all the problems in football, hasn't it? There hasn't been controversy after controversy after controversy about refs not getting it right, not using the right lines, not even looking at the screens, ignoring their assistants. None of these things have happened. Why would pro players who routinely get falsely reported in matchmaking for cheating, why would they ever come out in support of saying, let's just have a shadowy cabal of people eyeball testing our play? They would be the first to cry and wish they had actually supported the player association properly.
Damn.
If ESL banned like one of their teammates.
Was that supposed to be like a thing? Like the player association was just I don't know, maybe like a bunch of like retired dudes, or maybe they're not retired. I don't know. Maybe like they just didn't qual, and then there's like another job called like cheat eyeball guy, and like all you got to do is like just stand behind someone, like you have like some 10,000 hour bro over your shoulder looking at like your screen and how you move your fucking mouse and shit to figure out are you using cheats or not. I mean, that would seem like the logical thing to do. Like to just, have somebody like that knows the fucking game over your shoulder at least. But I mean, again, that can only be so accurate. I mean, but I don't know like the qualifications of like the current people that do the eyeball test. That's like the funniest shit I've ever heard, dude.
Like just some upcoming young star. No, sorry, it's bullshit. We watched it. We watched the demo. I saw a lot of demo reviews about this particular team, and they were all doing the same thing. They go, and they did the same thing about, what was he called? The fucking guy from the team that got banned in the European League. They watch it, and they go, well, there's nothing suspicious about this, and there's nothing suspicious about this. And you probably would do that, and you probably would check there. But it is weird he's pushed here, but sometimes you might. Maybe he heard some, and on it goes, and then they go, but the problem is he's guessed right every time. And you go,
oh,
well, it has to be in the realms of possibility. If you go into...
Oh, having a person do it versus like just having a flat out, just 100% good anti-cheat to do it. Yeah, there's always going to be, like if a person is doing it, and let's say they're looking at someone that's just really fucking good, there's always going to be that like 10% chance of like someone that just is really good that looks like they're cheating is not cheating, but he calls it like he is cheating. So yeah, like isn't there like another statistic? I mean, this is completely irrelevant. There's like 10% of people in jail are like wrongly accused and like aren't even supposed to be in jail They're just like in the wrong place at the wrong time, or like I think it maybe it wasn't in jail, but like the death row thing. Something like 5 to 10% of people on death row should not be on death row, or some shit like that. Like if you have like people do the thing instead of like a machine.
A game, it is possible you can make every decision right on instinct, on luck, on chance, on your opponents not playing up to their level and not taking advantage. Yeah. So you can't just apply that and say that's a strong enough reason to ban. No, it certainly is not. It certainly is not. But that's where everybody arrived at. They always... I saw a number of these videos. Naturally, they've been on Vax Sucks and everywhere else. But this is a crazy opinion.
Is that like a subreddit or some shit?
It would be other players, right? It would have to be. It would have to be pro players that have played at the highest level of the game and therefore could never be wrong about cheaters. That's what Major's saying, right? It would have to be them. Well, okay. I remember Pasha accusing JW of cheating. By the way, probably in a game that maybe they did. At least Smoke Hack. I seem to recall.
I will say, if you are like an M&K FPS bro, you have a little bit more credibility of you just being a good aimer. If you have like good benches for whatever fucking aim group you have, as opposed to just playing the game indefinitely and trying to develop your aim off the game, you do have a little bit more credibility, at least amongst the aim train community, when you got like some halfway decent aim train scores. So just saying.
Call JW accusing Rops of cheating. And lots of other pros did when he was at the top of Face It. Said he would never go to a LAN. What about now? What about all of North America saying Stewie 2K pushes through smokes too much? It's obvious he's cheating. What about all of the fucking insane cult of trying to catch Shroud, one of the most underwhelming LAN players I've ever seen, accused him of cheating at LAN tournaments with a 1.0 rating? I'll leave Flusher off the list.
Thank you. Somebody else says it. Like, yeah, Shroud's aim is good and all that jazz, and it's decent, but it ain't like the best.
People accused Shocks of cheating, didn't they? Why is his crosshair doing that? Ziwu, I showed you the clip. A clip that nearly prematurely ended his career on Device's stream. Everybody thought Ziwu was cheating. They passed him over. So those pros don't know what they're fucking talking about either, do they? Here's what they know. I just bang my head off. The problem everyone has is that when it's online, because the pros are really bad for this, because they play so much at LAN, then they go online and they just forget about things like peak disadvantage. They forget that what they are seeing isn't what is happening.
That's
what
fair.
You see is never what you get in an online game. It can't be because of how the internet works. We can't have zero latency play, and they all they all forget about it. They all forget. And they go, oh, he's banged my head off. He's cheating. How could he possibly know? And they don't factor in the million other things that have caused them to make that decision and make that move at that time and fire in the way they did. So, no, this is not the solution. This would be a huge step back. And here's the thing. It actually goes on and people don't talk about it. So this was the first thing, right? A well-known betting Telegram guy with a few thousand followers did...
Oh, betting guy. That just screams legitimacy right there.
...post and say, much like Akuma and Project X and all of that, you can see Ikla accusing Pera for using radar. It's also known the Pera guys are banned from many bookies. Poria played with known cheaters and match fixers in past. Hard for you. Aaron and Camion's past team also got banned from the bookies. Now, what's in this clip? He's replying.
Bro, like, thank God I am not into, like, Counter-Strike, like, hardcore. This is, like, everyone is just throwing around accusations of cheating left and right. Like, god dang. Is there ever been, like, any FPS esport where people just play the game and it's just, like, I mean, I don't know. There's never been any mention of cheats. Probably like in the past before the internet was like a huge thing and like it was like on like FPS, like esports was like on the come up. Maybe. I mean, I don't know though. I wasn't like into like esports back then, so I wouldn't really know. But I mean, if this is like modern esports where everyone is just throwing around accusations and shit, it seems like really boring.
to Kvem, obviously, plays in that Ikla lineup. And you can see here, he just said to Camion, who they accused of being the one on the radar.
But then again, if this is like the general day-to-day of like just esports in general, I would probably have to imagine it's somewhat similar in like real sports. Like this team is accusing that team of cheating. Oh, this guy's on too much steroids. He's on too much test and this and that. Or like, oh, this other guy is like watching us with a fucking drone with like a fucking 10x zoom. He's watching our plays and shit or something. I don't know.
They said, jokingly, maybe you need to get some coffee and make your focus up. Multiple clown emojis. This was the clip that they say this is 100% evidence of radar hacking. I'll explain why in a second.
Oh shit!
You can see it's on the Anubis where they spank them, and you can see he's doing this. He's got like some fire here, but this is the part coming up, right? Because he didn't react to that person pushing.
Whoa. Okay.
That, by the way, is the irrefutable evidence. He was checking radar, apparently. He was checking radar. And
like his eyes weren't on the screen. He was like looking at something else. In that moment he looked somewhere else, he got.
Took him too long to react. This is the irrefutable evidence.
I mean, if that's a fucking supposed to be a professional player, like, and, you know, professional player reaction time is like so far superior to fucking regular people. It's like, I don't know. I wouldn't say that's like the nail in the coffin, but it is kind of sus. Like, bro, the dude's right there, and it's like, you wait, you got.
Want them banned on that basis, right?
I don't know if that was like ban worthy, like not taking a shot, like, but that's definitely like a foul or a strike or whatever the fuck. I don't know what CS does. That is like, why didn't you shoot him? I didn't see him. He's right in the center of your fucking screen, dude. He passed through your reticle.
Now, listen, we watched Akuma do it, but with the slight difference, they were on camera doing this with a glowing light in their face coming from off here, and then looking back at their screen. That is been passed around. It's in all the YouTube videos as being, this is it, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. I don't know. I wouldn't want to see someone banned off that. Don't think that's a good precedent. But there was another clip that also did the rounds. They sent it to ESL. This was in the Guild Eagles game. ESL, take a look at Para Esports players. Poria Jiggle P. Holding A main, but just before Synopsy shows up, Poria crouches and then aims at the box. This cannot be a coincidence, and it's not the first time. You better watch and analyze the game. Cheaters are everywhere, guys. They're everywhere. They've infested our pro play. This isn't just one shit team playing in an online qualifier.
So who are we looking at? I know, like here, but like, I can't fucking tell what the fuck is going on here. This is like a blue guy. Okay.
Now, guess what? This clip that cannot be a coincidence and can be an utter proof of what they did. Guess what? In-game sound, you can hear the steps. Somebody else debunked this. You can literally hear them walking out of that part on Ancient. Again, these are the slam dunks. These people would already be banned because of this witch hunt, because they're no-namers. We do this over and over again in CS. I'll remind you about another team. Do you remember when Monty first came on the scene? And they also had players, some of whom had been in some of these dodgy teams, and teams accused of match fixing, and teams banned from bookies, right? Monty were called shithawks, you know what I mean? Shithawks. They were like fucking, they're cheating, they're onliners, they're doing something, they probably got radar. Yeah, it's everywhere, radar. They've gone to LAN. They proved themselves to be a really legit team.
Oh, okay.
You know, you can't keep doing this. If you're going to make a serious stance against cheating, what you absolutely don't do is you don't start by taking a few suspect clips, sometimes without fucking sound, the most basic of things to include when analysing why people do what they do in a really sound-based game. What you don't do is...
Yeah, doesn't CS have, like, really good footsteps? At least CS and Val. Like, there's a button to, like, walk slower. So why would you not just make like all your clips of like trying to use a clip as an evidence? Why wouldn't you use the sound? That is hilarious to me. Like, there's all these other FPS games that are bitch mom complaining about fucking too much sound layers, like coming over other layers, and like footsteps are like at the bottom. It's like you shouldn't even. It's like, where's the audio and all this jazz? Like Apex or Halo or Call of Duty and shit like that. It's like, bro, is this the next level? Like, what if all FPSs had like really good footsteps, but like footstep noises? Is this the next level? Because CS and Val got really good footsteps. It's like, and they're still bitch mom complaining.
You don't make a bunch of wild accusations that if you're wrong, you've just completely fucked the whole thing. You've just fucked the whole thing. You just look like an idiot, and then everyone's going, oh yeah, do you remember that time we falsely accused that perfectly, like, legit team or legit player of cheating? Here's what you do. Put away your tiny tears. Don't get your Twitter fingers out. You go through the demos. You get everything. You talk to the admins. They go, okay, listen, can't do anything about this game, but we're going to watch them. And then you talk to your friends. And you tell your other fellow pros, hey, if you're playing that Para team, do a bunch of weird jiggle peeks and impossible things. So see if one of them gets caught out like absolute bang to rights, tracing you through a wall or something weird. And you wait and you bide your time. You don't do this. You don't falsely announce you're closing down your shit org that has no fucking money. And you know, you don't falsely announce you're shutting it down because cheaters are everywhere. By the way, this over-the-top
that sucks.
Nonsense. It is
because if that's like a tier 3 or a tier 2 org or something like that, I don't know. Like, the transition from like a casual like Counter-Strike enjoyer to like professional is like there's not a lot of gray room in there for like a lot of other games. It's just you're like either a casual, and then maybe the next level is like you grind ranked and you're like decent at it. And then you try to do like some tournaments, and then you try to get to the pro level. Like, you really need a healthy like in between area to go from that transition from casual to like rank grinder to like tier 3, tier 2, tier 1 professional team. That is a good ecosystem of esports to have like all these tiers in there. I mean, because you have it with like football, like NFL, Division 2, Division 1. I don't know which one is over like the other, but that's like a good ecosystem. Like, there's a path that you can follow, and it's if a team feels like there's too many cheaters, and they just close, and it's like that, it doesn't look good for the entire like community. I don't know.
It's hurting all of us right now. Not the actual cheating itself, the hysteria around cheating, the culture of a lack of trust now is permeated into the pro scene. It's not just your matchmaking games where everyone is cheating. Now every qualifier, we're now going to go through the rigmarole of saying everyone is cheating. Every time there's a suspect clip, he was cheating. Why do I even bother? That's why I lost. What?
And Richard is probably talking about like just software cheats and hardware cheats. Like, but he's not even talking about like the PEDs that gamers use, like stims and shit, to like stay in the like force the flow state into them, like until like really focus and shit. He's not even talking about that.
What does that do for the competitive scene? That erodes it more than there being an occasional cheater in the pro level. Absolute fact, by the way. It's like the dead game, self-fulfilling prophecy death spiral that people put themselves in. Oh, it's a dead game, no one's playing it. Yeah, it is a dead game. I probably won't queue up tonight because it's a dead game. And so, oh no, there's less people playing it. Yeah, it truly is a dead game. I wonder why the game died. You all stopped playing because you fucking gaslit yourself into thinking it was a fucking dead game. When you all just queued up A live game. Super
Yeah.
easy. People say things that are so destructive.
Yeah, that's a true thing that what he just said, the death spiral of people saying, like, players playing the game, and then maybe like one cheater affects it, affects like a match, and then all of a sudden those four people start saying, oh, this is fucking stupid, there's cheaters around everywhere, and those guys tell their friends tell their friends, and maybe their friends had like a match where they felt cheated on, and it's just like it's a circle of exactly what he just said, dude.
To the things that they supposedly care about the most. Like, it's actually wild. Like, this was a player on 9-9. No, sorry, team manager at 9-9. Had to get in on the action, right? Boskaz, or if you say his name, right? Cheating is ruining professional esports scene. I said it. Oh, you're so fucking brave, mate. No one has said this before. By the way, spoiler, if there was wholesale cheating, right? If there was wholesale cheating, right? Yeah, it would be ruining the scene. But there isn't. Do you know what you sound like now? You sound like the crazies on Vax Sucks. And do you know who they accuse of cheating? All of you!
Oh.
Every single one of you. And now you're telling them they're right. You're validating their delusions, you dickhead. Why? Because of one suspect team in one online qualifier that could very well be legit. There hasn't been an overwhelming amount of evidence. Certainly not conviction worthy. There. I said it. All of you demanding proof are blind to see the problem is not the lack of thereof. The system of detection is broken. AC does shit to it. TOs too. Stick your head out. Yeah? We shouldn't want proof for impugning people's reputations and taking away their livelihoods. Remember all of this, by the way, because these are the people who get cut from teams and then they beg for work.
Oh, shit.
It's just like the games industry, isn't it? Then,
yeah,
goes on. If dozens of pro players are noticing the issue, no, that's not what's happening. Dozens of pro players are complaining. And that has gone on since time immemorial. That is what always happens. You lose online to no-namers, they're cheating. That is it. That is a default reaction that has been in Counter-Strike for as long as we've had competitive Counter-Strike. I have demonstrated that time and time again. I've gone back to 1.6. You know, that's just how it rolls. If dozens of pro players are the issue, there should
because that's like one of the best stories that you can like watch in terms of like sporting entertainment. You have like a big guy, well-known guy who's really good at something, and then here comes this like no-name dude who's the underdog, and he just beats the no-name guy. That's like the best fucking story.
Be a body to investigate it. There should be laws to enforce. ESIC official is not my god, as they did not prove their existence. Wait for franchise end date where Tier 1 has to compete with radars. Maybe then. So again, a couple of premises there. First of all, ESIC didn't prove their existence. Yeah, I mean, they've bit off more than they can chew, really, because they're trying to clean up all the dog shit in this industry. And, spoiler, do you know what their area of expertise in? Betting and match fixing. They were never equipped to deal with cheating. Never. Never. It would have to be brazenly obvious. It would have to be speed hacking. It would have to be a detection from some sort of software. You don't want ESIC eyeballing it. We know that, right? So why are you invoking ESIC? And then the other premise, Tier 1 teams to compete against the might of 9-9, right? The mighty 9-9, who themselves were a Tier 1 team, a Tier 2 team that grinded their way up. So all the Tier 2 teams have to cheat to compete against the mighty 9-9. A former Tier 2 team who grinded their way up, I assume legitimately. But you're telling me, they have to cheat. You must use radars to complete. You're doing your own reputation in, you fucking idiot. I don't know what happened to CS. Like, when CS2 installed, they must have released some toxic vapors from the.
Bro, I kind of want to watch like the next tournament. Like, is there one playing on like fucking Twitch or something? I gotta see this tournament and like what everyone is like spamming in the fucking chat. That's got to be something special, dude.
Computers. And these guys, because they played it, they must have just fucking inhaled them all. And it's just brain shrink now. Then, of course, and listen, I love him, and he could probably knock me out. He has been training for a while, I'll give him that. Fat old man living out his hard man fantasies from his 20s still. It's quite sad. But Pasha as well, like, again, gets up on fucking stage at an award show, And Valve, please fix. Like, yeah, what you mean, like constantly develop our fucking game? Yeah, we are going to do that, yeah. Yeah. We're going to do it at our pace and with the resources and employees we want and allocate. Pash is in on it. As you might have noticed, there is a huge problem with cheaters wanting to qualify for big events such as IEM, etc. Online qualify, guys. I can solve this tomorrow. No more online qualifiers. Ta-da! It's done. It's gone.
No more
Shut
online
the fuck
qualifiers.
Up, it's over. Just
Yeah.
no more online qualifiers. If you can't.
No more online qualifiers. In an ideal world, that's what I would probably want for most esports games. But I think it's too expensive. It's literally just a money issue of like trying to fly out every player that wants to qualify, or maybe like they did the tier 3 one. Maybe you have like the tier 3 online qualifier, and then once you reach to like tier 2, that's when you start flying people out or shit. I mean, I don't know. Like in an ideal world, yes, that like I would rather have like legitimate people, like a legitimate process when it's controlled. But I mean, they're just doing the best. It honestly seems like they're just like winging it, more or less.
Can't pony up and get to a LAN. Fuck off. You don't get to play. There you go. I fixed it. Fixed your whole fucking scene. They're never done before. A LAN qualifying. Oh, I don't know. It's got there's a mighty big queue in the word. Just have a LAN. There you go. Problem solved. Problem literally solved. Problem literally solved. As you probably know, in many traditional.
Doesn't the FGC community like do that? Like in terms of like majors, all of their tournaments are just online, or not online, like in person. Like if you want to qualify for like a big tournament like Evo or some shit. Well, no, Evo is what do you call it? It is like all open, and it's always like in Las Vegas and shit. And if you want to go there, you better fucking fly your ass over there. But for like any sort of tournament that's like invite only, you have to qualify for it. But to qualify, you have to like have like some sort of like tournament points from like a major tournament. If you want points, you need to fly your ass over there and bring your little fight stick and all that jazz. The fighting game community does it, but I think it's easier for the fighting game community to do it because fighting games only require 2 people for a match. Counter-Strike requires 10 people for a match. There's a big difference in that. So, yeah.
Sports, there are an investigative commission who can come to visit you and get you tested for doping. Valve should have launched their own commission that will be.
Oh shit, he wants you to test for doping. Or not doping, but like for stims and shit. That's the funniest shit. I mean, again, in reality, or not reality, ideally, yes, fucking test all these little motherfuckers for fucking stims and Adderall and Vyvanse and all that jazz, dude. Fucking test them into the dirt. You better not be cheating.
You're allowed to come and check your PC and gaming gear. As I retired...
What do you mean check your own PC? Bro, what happened to the, like, hey, like, in an ideal world, like, everything is just run by the tournament. Like, the tournament has their own, like, tournament brand of, like, PC. The tournament monitors are all, like, high quality, like, 500 hertz, whatever. And then, okay, you figure out what, like, because then what do you have to do? What's like the little snowflake thing that all the players that makes each one unique? Oh, well, I gotta have my keyboard, I gotta have my mouse and my mouse pad. Okay, I mean, this would probably take too much work, but you figure out what every like brand and like you figure out every peripheral that each player wants. And, you know, because it's like, as far as headset goes, it's like, you're using our fucking headset, bitch, whatever. It's like, oh, you like the Logitech G Pro wireless super light? Then, okay, we'll buy that one for you, and it will be there waiting for you. You're not going to bring your own. You know, you figure out what the player's like. You buy one for each player. You buy one keyboard for each player of, like, their favorite whatever. And you just fucking set the player up. And it's like, okay, figure out the DPI, the sense, all the keybinds. You know, you figure all that shit out yourself, and there you go. Oh, you like little grips on your little fucking mouse? You like the little dots on the bottom of your mouse? Okay, we'll get that for you. We'll do that for you. You're not bringing your own. I mean, idealistically, that would be like a clean environment, but again, I think it's too like too much in reality.
CS players will be happy to become CEO of that commission. Another guy angling for a fucking Ice Frog style community manager job. Never happening.
Yeah,
Right?
well,
So, yeah, that's what we need. Yeah, Valve. Why don't you set up your own Gestapo? Right? Set up your own Gestapo. Well, you have been accused of cheating and you're a shitter, so we're coming in. We're just coming in your house, yeah? We're just going to have a look around. Gestapo, Valve, show us your drivers. No, you're not hiding any Riot software in here, are you? That would be verboten. Like, what are you people talking about? Also, the idea again, it's what I mean. It's like they just don't sit and think. Think, please, someone in CS, formulate an idea from start to finish. Construct it in your mind. See how it plays out. Look for any logical holes. Plug them, then tweet it. You fucking morons. Pasha, right? Is speaking on behalf of the pros. What do the pros say? The pros say, Valve don't know what they're doing. They can't fix the anti-cheat.
Oh,
Valve
shit.
have done this. Valve have made cheaters run riot in the game. But you know should run the Gestapo to detect cheaters. Valve!
oh, yeah.
How? How do you... I'm typing this, and I can't see any balls in the logic whatsoever. It's fucking
yeah.
insane.
I mean, when you put it like that, and I don't know, would you have to have a third party come in and just do the job? You'd have to create some sort of a thing, like some sort of third party, because like, look at the Olympics and look at WADA, or I think it's WADA, the World Association of like Drug. I fucking forgot of like the organization that overlooks the Olympics in terms of like drug testing. There was that fucking what do you call it? That documentary on Netflix, Icarus, where the guys at WADA were like getting paid to like shove fucking like urine samples through a hole in the wall to like swap it out for certain players. So it's like, even if you were to do it from like a third party, it couldn't even be fucking legitimate either. So I don't know. You can't have Valve do it. You can't have a third party do it. I mean, as long as there's people involved, it's always going to be subject to, you know, people like just getting paid off or whatever.
Circle jerk is the dumbest fucking thing I've seen in ages. And again, I want to make it clear, I'm not saying they didn't cheat. I'm not saying they didn't use radar.
Yeah.
Here's a more important question. How did they get the radar? Right?
Yeah.
Think about that.
That
Isn't
is
that
another
more
one.
important? Because what people don't realise is when they say radar, everyone goes, they're cheating. They're hacking. No, when you use radar, you are getting a clean feed of the event. You don't install a hack. It would be too risky. What you get is a live stream of the game as you're playing it, and you put it on a secondary monitor, and you can see the radar. That is what they do. So how are they?
Oh, yeah. There's every fucking which way to cheat, dude. You don't have the cheats on your main game PC. You have the cheats on like a secondary PC. I mean, besides, bro, I can fucking Google cheats like right now for CS2 and I'll get like a shitload of fucking results. I mean, shit, I could go to Walmart right now and buy strike packs still. And you could buy like fucking Cronus Zens and Zims on Amazon, all right? The cheats are out there and they're readily available for most people to get. It's not like it's like illegal to make cheats.
Are they getting that? Who's it coming from? Is it one of the data partners? Is it the tournament operator?
Well, I think it is illegal, but they don't get marketed as cheats. What did that thing? It's like, I forgot, on like the strike pack at Walmart. It's like, aim like the pros with this. I forgot what the fuck they called it. It's like an aim enhancer or some shit. I fucking forgot.
Is it some degenerate gambler that's paid to have it? Is there match fixing involved? What's going on? These are bigger questions, but
Yeah.
you don't want to have that conversation. I've got a fucking sneaking suspicion why a lot of you don't want to talk about match fixing. I think many of these players, by the way,
oh shit, the match fixing. We didn't even touch on that subject.
who've come up through tier 2, they've been adjacent or participants in it, and that's why we can never have that conversation about how that's ruining the scene and that's eroding integrity. But we will talk about the fictitious cheaters under your fucking bed every time you lose a fucking game. And by the way, this will snowball into insufferability if it isn't checked. If somebody doesn't come down hard on this bullshit and wake everyone the fuck up. Because we've already got players getting booted out of teams. We've got leagues getting rid of teams. We've got teams shutting down. We've got investigations being called for. We've got really regressive tactics being called for pros. Let's get VAR. Let's just eyeball test it. Let's just ban anyone we don't like.
Oh shit.
Right?
Yeah.
You've got people endlessly encouraging the shitters that can't even get to 10k, let alone 25k where the cheating happens. They talking about how there's cheaters in every game and there's no problem, the game's broken, the anti-cheat doesn't work. You've got shitters like the Score doing their pathetic bait in 10-minute videos so they can get their clicks, and I'm telling you, I am
Bro, I don't know why I ever thought I wanted to be a professional like gamer when Richard just starts spitting like this shit, dude. This seems like way too fucking stressful, dude.
seeing the narrative. It is becoming, it started out with just all the losers, just all the shit players, and then it became some of the good players, and then it became an endless complaint about a game that was only fucking released at the end of September, and it's just turned February, right? And then it became, now it's the pros. Started out with the shit pros, and now it's the big pros, and now it's the influencers. Do you think this goes somewhere good, long run? Of course.
I don't know.
Of course it doesn't.
No? Okay.
Do you think all your whining somehow catches the very real cheaters? Do you?
I don't know. That is a good question. The best that you could hope for is for them to just constantly come up with updates for whatever the current anti-cheat system is. Just, hopefully you got the boys in there working their hearts out to figure out what the fuck is going on, what's the current cheats using. That's the best that you could hope for.
You want tournament organizers to start turning over any underdog win with one dodgy clip in it, starve hardworking, legit players of opportunities? Is this what we want to build for ourselves? Weird. You're all saying our partner teams are bad, but let me get this straight. It's bad to be a tier 2, tier 1.5 team on the come up because my partner leagues, but you would love to create a little cabal of you and your buddies that simply just say shit players don't get to get promoted, shit players don't get to win qualifiers. If I've not heard of you, if I've not played with you in FPL, I don't trust you, and you must be cheating if you beat me in a video game. You would happily create that reality. It's fucking nonsense.
Oh,
it's
man.
utter nonsense. How stupid this is. By the way, spoiler, just to say, not even sad. Yes. I'm like that meme you see on Twitter all the time with the sickos, and he's at the window going, yes, yes. Do it, guys. Really fucking kill this game once and for all. Go on. Kill it with your endless whining about cheaters, sowing distrust. Just do it. Even better, stop playing. It's a bad game. It's a bad game, isn't it? It's a bad game, and Valve don't care. It's abandoned. They're cheating. You've made your money. Go on. Fuck off. Jog on. Tell you what you all do. Here's what you all do. All you players, right? Because you're super serious about this. You all get together. You all put your heads together. You all get a letter, right? You all, maybe Loba could help you write it. You all sit down. You all do your letter. Right, and you do a letter signed all of the pro players from all of these teams that are whining about it, and many of the ones who aren't, who secretly believe it, and you say it has become untenable to be a Counter-Strike pro, and we have decided that we will be transitioning over to Valorant as soon as possible, where they do have a very good anti-cheat.
Oh shit, that would be some shit, dude. That would be hilarious to watch. But that would require like the unison of like so many players, wouldn't it? kind of like a union or some shit, like a professional player union. Like to have a bunch of trust from that many, I don't know how like the average age of like CS2 pros are or whatever. Because like, isn't it like within like let's say what do you call it? Let's say that like this is like an axis, and this is like, I don't know, what do you call it? Like a normal bell curve. Like whoa, whoa, whoa. And this is like a professional like bell curve. All of these people are like the top 1%. There's still gonna be like this thing of what do you call it? Of like skill. I mean, I probably butchered it, but whatever. Like a normal bell curve. This is like a professional. There are still gonna be players on the outlier, like the top 1/10 of 1/1000th of a percent. They're still gonna fall. There's still gonna be like a self-imposed bell curve. So these players over here would have no business trying to defend these players over here. You know, because every pro player would probably fall somewhere in this bell curve. So like on the whole, like everybody should ideally, you know, join together and, you know, do this like player union thing of like, hey, fucking, we're dipping out if you don't straighten your shit up. That like ideally would be great, but what's gonna happen? Let's say that does happen. Like some players say they will, but then they just don't. And then what? All the tier 2s move up to the tier 1s, all the tier 3s go up to 2s, and then new people funnel into the tier 3s, and it's like, that's what would happen, would it not? Or maybe I'm just like saying it wrong. But all the tier 1s move over to Valorant, and I don't know like how I don't know how passionate like the CS2 fans are, like how connected they are to the team as opposed to the player. Because for video games, like people aren't really connected to like the teams. I think maybe it's different for CS, but for video games, people are more attracted to like a single player than they are a team. So I don't know how that would work. Like, isn't there like a TSM Valorant team already? So what if like the TSM fucking CS team moves over to Valorant? Then what happens? It turns into like a TSM Red, TSM Blue, or like one of those instances.
Go on, you're all good enough. Valorant a child's game. Go on, fuck off. Yeah, you won't be doing that. You'll be playing and you'll be bitching every time you lose, like every other fucking pro I've ever rubbed up against. Like, you're all the fucking same when you boil down to it. Your ego will never let you believe, he fucking one-digged me. He's cheating. He's actually cheating, guys. You won't be doing none of that, will you? Won't ever. No time for self-reflection. I also do want to also just end on a fucking absolute hilarious story. Fucking this.
Oh,
it's so good. So obviously, the one thing everyone talks about in Counter-Strike is, imagine playing that Valorant child's game. Wouldn't that be fucking good? Wouldn't it be good to play that game and where there's an anti-cheat, right? And we never run into cheaters and nothing could ever happen. Riot have really got a handle on it. That's how that's working. Now, there's loads of factors that never get factored in. So first of all, Vanguard has been doing manual bans just the entire time. If you remember, somebody that covered Vanguard when it first launched, Vanguard, they admitted they hadn't even turned it on. It was a skeleton, essentially.
Oh, shit. Vanguard is a joke?
Actually, they said that. They were like, oh, yeah, it wasn't even on. So don't judge it.
Oh, shit.
But people were getting banned. And so they've done manual bans the entire time.
Oh, boy.
You will also notice that they have still not implemented demos. Now, how do you catch a cheater? How do you know if you've been cheated against? Right? You watch a demo back and you go, holy shit, look at that. That's fucking with me. You don't get to do that in Valorant.
Oh, yeah. Isn't there, like, no kill cam in Val? Like, how does an FPS game not have a fucking kill cam? Or a VOD? Like, isn't that what, like, League of Legends does? Isn't, like, for all the, like, League of Legends matches, you can, like, go onto, like, some website and, like, look at your match that you played, but it'll be, like, from the view of like everybody. How does like a shooter? How can you do that? Like in a, you have a shooter, but you can't do that.
There's no demos. It's almost certain that one of the reasons they aren't putting them in is for that explicit purpose. So is it any surprise that with all the harping on about the anti-cheat, the very nature of the game, indeed some of the players' abilities are just cheats essentially, and the fact that they do manual bans, and the fact you can't watch demos and all that stuff, is it any wonder that people think Valorant like has no cheaters? I hear that all the time, and it's so far from the reality that like if you go,
Yeah, no game, no FPS or no shooter has like no cheaters. I've never heard that from Val.
and just look up in your spare time like private Valorant cheats, you will find paid cheats that just bypass Vanguard the same way the old VAT bypassers do, and things like this, even though it's kernel level. People talk about kernel level anti-cheat like it's just unimpeachable, like there's no way around it. Oh, if you've got a kernel level nobody can bypass kernel level anti-cheat. It's the best. We need it and everything. Yeah, there was no cheaters in ESEA. There was no cheaters in Face It. Like, what are we talking about? So anyway, I've seen a number of videos on this. I got linked.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what level the anti-cheat goes through in your computer. I think I got Valorant like downloaded onto my computer like right now. I don't play Valorant because I don't like that style of game. I just played it for a little bit like with my buddy, but like I don't know, it didn't really affect my computer.
After I did the thing about Vanguard, there was this weird moment where a bunch of like fucking mentalists who are like reverse engineer coders were going, "You're not even a coder. You don't know what you're talking about." I'm talking about Riot lying about their, or rather not lying, but misrepresenting their TOS in other videos. I don't need to know how to engineer any software for that. No, but you're not even a coder. So listen, what you have to do is, if you decompile this, you'll see that actually any executable file can pull as much as that. I'm not talking about any of that. Why are you all posting this? It was like, seriously, the Venn diagram of the fucking, people with social disorders and fucking coding was all-time high that day. So, anyway, there's cheats all over the place for Vanguard. There are.
Yeah, you could probably just fucking Google, like, Valorant cheats right now. It's not like it's a fucking secret. If I want to cheat in or any FPS game, I could just go get cheats if I wanted to.
Just are, and you can believe me or you cannot. Just look in your own time. But anyway, that was so fucking annoying to listen to. While I've been trying to just say, can we just dial it down with the cheating allegations and saying it's the worst it's ever been and the fucking it's out of control and all these like ridiculous hyperbolic statements that we know aren't true. Like on some level you gotta know they aren't true. But no, it's all been Valorant. And then Valorant had their Forsaken incident. And as the guy who made a video that got 1.5 million views about the Forsaken incident and then lost all the money on it for playing 9 seconds of the Curb Your Enthusiasm music, I'm very happy to talk about
I'm gonna go watch that video.
Netflix.exe. This is on Valo to Asia. Word.exe to Netflix.exe. Alleged cheating incident.
The word, the fucking cheat. Like some dude fucking, some dude downloaded cheats for fucking CS, and he like brought like a thumbstick to like a fucking LAN tournament. He plugged that shit in to like put the cheats onto the computer, and then when the TO fucking came over to like, what is this? The file came up as like word.exe, and I guess they changed it to Netflix this time for this instance. Oh my god, that's so funny.
In Valorant Challenges Indonesia Split 1. Now, do you know why this is fucking brilliant? You know why this is brilliant. I'm going to tell you why it's brilliant, right? They've trapped themselves. The Vaxels have trapped themselves, right? I'm just going to take it away. No spoilers on this one. The Vaxels have trapped themselves. Do you want to know why they've trapped themselves? Because, right, they say, this is what Vaxels say, Forsaken being able to smuggle in a shit public cheat onto a LAN computer at an Asian tournament, with not great infrastructure and not great admins. It was just like a little regional qualifier. They say that proves it is possible to do that at the highest level of the game. It isn't. The checks and balances are completely different. The level of scrutiny is completely different.
Oh,
anyway,
shit.
That's what they've always said. They always go Forsaken proves. They have this weird little it's like a it's not like a Bible. I guess it is like a Bible. It's like a collection of myths and stories. And it starts with the Vackening. And of course Kaylee was cheating for ages, and then the Lord did say Kaylee thou is banned, and then Titan did go into decline, and they do all this stuff, right?
Oh,
It's
my God.
oratory fucking history of bullshit about that proves there's cheaters in their game. That's how mentally fucked they are. But anyway, they say now, and then lo, it became true that Forsaken, with his guile and wit and cunning, was able to smuggle Word.exe, the world's most sophisticated aimbot, onto a computer, but was noticed by Saint Admin. His diligence protected the integrity of Counter-Strike for one more day. But now, Satan has unleashed a new wave of cheating. It's fucking pathetic, guys.
That's the funniest
was this guy.
Gotta stop. Oh my God. Damn, dude. I didn't even know that it went that deep.
He was a moron. Forsaken was a fucking moron. He was playing with that cheat that made him so good, statistically better than Simple, better than Ziwu, better than Device, on a laptop, a machine that would physically impede him being as good as them. And then he thought, just take this to LAN. Right? Just take this to LAN. Then had all of them clips, and so the admins went and said, can we just pull his PC? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got this weird little exe file running on it. They say that's proof that you can do that at the highest level.
Oh,
well,
shit.
Then, your precious Valorant, same thing, right? Somebody went with a cheat on their PC to a LAN at a Valorant Challengers event. That's it. It's a small qualifier, same level of tournament he was playing at. So, turns out, Valorant's totally compromised, guys. It's totally your logic, your rules, not mine. Indonesia. Reports have emerged revealing an alleged cheating.
So he's using one instance that some dude got some cheats on a computer. It's a one out of how many players at the tournament that went to extreme lengths. I mean, I don't know anything about the Forsaken thing. Where he used the Forsaken. You're talking. Oh, it's the same thing. I just know. I didn't know that was his name. Was Forsaken, the Word.exe dude. Okay.
Incident during the open qualifier of Valorant Child's game. Fucking hell, I'm tired. I've been working all day. Valorant Challenges. It's like a reflex now. If it was a Valorant, it was a Child's game for some reason. Valorant Challenges. Indonesia split. The player in question is said to have used software labeled Netflix.exe, reminiscent of a similar incident involving Optic India's Forsaken 5 years ago at Extremes Land 2018, where he used the infamous Word.exe file.
Yeah.
However, the recent incident involves a smaller scale, unknown team and a player in an online environment. The player has also confessed that the cheating software was present on their machine, but was not utilized during tournament play, according to a document obtained by Valo2.
So, what? The dude had cheats on a computer, but he didn't use them? That's so fucking stupid.
Asia. The incident unfolded within a team called the Tokyo Revengers, comprising 5 relatively unknown players making their first official appearance in the qualifier. It first came to light when Challengers Indonesia caster Bradle shared a story on Instagram showing a folder named Fantech Audio, assuming to contain files related to audio peripheral software at first. However, the folder revealed a program named Netflix.exe, supposedly owned by the alleged player.
Oh, shit.
The case has become the talk of the town, stirring widespread discussion and attention within the Valorant Indonesia community. So anyway, just to give
Fantech Audio. And those are the 4 files that would have been there. Oh, you can't even see. Pop, 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 pop.
give you the long and the short of this. The excuse for having the file, which was a cheat file, as you can see, it says there, I think that's like last opened or something like April 22. So the excuse they said was, oh, I did used to cheat my tits off all the time. Never got caught, but I just don't use it anymore. I forgot it was on my machine.
Oh, that's stupid.
So hang on.
Oh yeah, that's why would you even allow that player to even in there?
Hang on.
Why would you allow like an ex-cheater to play?
How didn't you get caught all the other times in Valorant Child's game? How did you not get caught? There's 0 cheaters. How did he do it? Who is this guy? Get him on the phone. He must be some sort of insane coder, right? To be able to cheat in Valorant. No, he's just using Netflix.exe. Which, by the way, that's another thing. That goes way back. Go read my article on Substack about Ventrilo.exe. Same shit. You've got 2 Ventrilos. No, I don't. Oh, it must be Windows. But then get this, right? So, furthermore, another piece of information has emerged from caster Antonia's son Wilson, revealing a text file with instructions for executing the program on how to deactivate the Riot Vanguard anti-cheat system.
Oh, shit.
And the activation of an aiming assist feature. And you look at the...
Oh, before you play, make sure the outline color is purple. You also can't have purple crosshair. Go to Task Manager and all this jazz. Go to Task Manager, startup, blah, blah, blah. So there's this like step-by-step guide to like how to activate the cheat.
This shit, guys. This is the notepad instructions for how to use this cheat. Look at this. Before you play, make sure the outline color is purple. You also can't have a purple crosshair. 1, go to Task Manager. You can tell you're dealing with some sophisticated shit right now.
Yeah.
Go to Task Manager and go to Startup. Right-click Vanguard Tray Notification and disable. Open Netflix.exe. Go to Task Manager and go to the Startup tab. Right-click Vanguard Tray Notification and press Open. Go to Task Manager and go to the Services tab. Then press VGC on your keyboard and enable VGC Server. Launch Valorant, and to activate the Val aim is mouse button 5, and to deactivate it is middle mouse. Well, holy fucking shit, guys! Like, it's like being Neo in the Matrix. Saw so many zeros and ones. Is that an agent? Oh God, I can't. Are you fucking serious? So I am beginning to believe that maybe people are like over exaggerating actually how cheat proof the Valorant environment is.
Yeah.
Maybe that crazy dude who runs that snitch Discord is literally so much of a loser he's just there manually banning everyone.
Dang.
Remember, of course, they've had bans in Valorant and Pro.
Yeah, like cheats will go through like the most hurdles, to overcome an anti-cheat, but when it comes down to it, like activating it and all this shit, or like turning it on and activating it, it's like the easiest fucking shit. All you did was hit mouse 5 and disable his middle mouse. Dang. But that's how it's always been.
And the players have said, I absolutely did not cheat. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, certainly it's
I didn't even know there's a fucking snitch Discord for like cheats.
Possible there could be false positives. You've already seen more sophisticated cheating, but no cheaters there. A statement from the Tokyo Revengers' first opponent in the bracket, discovered in the comment section of a Valorant page, pointed out they had sensed something was amiss during their match. Sounds familiar. The player expressed a suspicion that their positions in the game were being known similar to facing a cheater in the game. After defeating them, the Tokyo Revengers campaign in the qualifier was short-lived as they faced a one-sided defeat at the hands of the new Dominatus roster. Weird. Couldn't even win with cheats. Strange. Anyway, and I'll also just remind people for when this gets chopped up into a video, this happened back in 2021. Top-ranked Valorant pro banned for cheating, tells Riot to prove it.
Oh shit. Like, I'm just literally going off of my own personal experience. Well, not personal experience. I'm going to use like some anecdotal shit. The moment you think someone is cheating and they go, prove I was cheating. I don't know if, was this dude like actually cheating or not? I don't know. But when someone says like prove it, that kind of is like a red flag to me. if someone's if someone goes, their first knee jerk reaction is to be like prove it. Because it's like if you try to provide evidence, it's like, and then they can't. It's like, well, then I wasn't cheating by the rule set that was right there. I was just using cheats outside of the rule set because you can't detect them. I don't know. Saying like prove it as like your knee jerk reaction to being accused of cheating is kind of like outing yourself. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if this guy was cheating or not.
Prove it. Where is the proofs? Riot handed down a 12-month ban to a Valorant pro player. By the way, if you're sure this guy cheated, why is it a 12-month ban? Another thing that the VAC
Oh yeah, why wouldn't it be like an indefinite ban?
cells don't talk about, right? VAC, you're out. It's a permo. Get caught cheating in the league, you're out. It's a permo. 12 months. 12 months, most likely because it was a manual ban and they weren't certain. That's my opinion. Riot has handed down a 12-month ban to Valorant pro player and top EU ranked player Yasin Nisegok for cheating in a ranked match. The official Valorant esports account for Turkey announced the ban earlier today, citing an official investigation by Riot Games into the player. Oh, a shadowy cabal behind the scenes.
Oh, shit.
Eyeballing things, perhaps. As a result, Gok has also been dropped by his team, Besiktas Esports, one of the biggest teams you can play for in Turkey, in esports, and his contract has been terminated. In a twit-longer response, which we translated using Google Translate, Gok called on Riot Games to provide evidence of the third-party software that proves he cheated. I personally think I am being wronged, but I cannot do anything against a company like Riot. I request Riot to show me proof of the third-party software they detected and that it is cheating. Neither Riot or the official Turkey account has provided details of Gok's offences. Curiously, Gok claims that the offending account hasn't been banned from normal play, as would usually be the case when Valorant's Vanguard anti-cheat software catches a cheater.
Oh
my me. I do wonder why that.
Huh. I mean, that is kind of curious to like why they wouldn't show like evidence, but to be fair, like let's say that dude for instance, like let's say the dude is cheating and he like makes cheats. Like I'm just like doing a hypothetical and they provided proof. Well, then that dude would then use that evidence to go back and update his anti-cheat system and be like, okay, this is what they detected. So I'm just going to update my anti-cheat system so that they can't detect that thing anymore. I mean, that's like my logic of it anyway, but I could be wrong.
Might be. As I said, guys, you might fucking want to sit there all day crying about CS2, saying the grass is greener on the other fucking side, but it is not necessarily fucking so. You just don't know what you're talking about. And I know you like saying that to me, but when I say it about you, I'm right.
True. Dang.
I said this.
Richard laying it down again. God dang. I mean, I don't have like any idea what fucking goes on in the CS2 scene. I'm just like a casual enjoyer of it. I mean, for just most FPSs, because it's like, it's kind of okay to watch to like a match. I'm not watching all the fucking matches. I don't know. I'm just not invested as I used to be in video games anymore. But I the things that I do like is like I like aim training, and aim training kind of translates into like most FPSs, and I don't know. But no, that was a good ass video. I mean, it's not like cheats are really gonna go anywhere. There's never gonna be an FPS that 100% like catches every cheater. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like I said before, the best you could hope for is hope that the anti-cheat gets constantly updated, and that's about it. But other than that, that was a fucking banger from Richard. But yeah, I love his stuff, and I'm gonna keep watching. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.